What's good, YouTube? I'm Robert with the Crosscut Creations channel. Today we're going to make a couple seam rippers. If you want to see how I did it, stick around.
Here we are measuring for the blank and marking the blank with the tube in place. After I mark that, I'm able to take the blank to the bandsaw and cut the blank down to size. After I cut the blank down to size, I drill the hole for the tube to go in, and I use my pen drilling vise along with my drill press to accomplish this. My drill press is a small benchtop model, so I had to adjust my pen vise and blank a couple times in order to get this accomplished. After I drill the hole, I rough up the tube that the seam ripper is gonna hold so the CA glue can adhere to the tube and not slide off. So I just take some medium CA glue and I put it on the tube and then put the tube in the blank, and I let that set up overnight. After I let that set up, I trim a little bit of the excess off at the bandsaw, and then I move on to barrel trimming the side. Here we are at the lathe. We finally have the blank mounted to the lathe. I first make the blank round, then I give the blank its shape. This blank was a cutoff from another project, and so here is a repurposed piece of cherry, and it gets a new lease of life as a seam ripper. Off camera, I went through the sanding grits, 60 grit, 120, 220, 400, 1000, and then in a later stage I ended up micro meshing up to 12,000. After I get the blank sanded down in the shape I want it, I clean the blank off with some denatured alcohol, and it gives me a preview of what this seam ripper is going to look like. After I clean it with denatured alcohol, I put a CA finish on. I looked at the channel Ox in the Shop. He put out a video that he learned to do a CA finish from Moy Perez. I'll link both those channels in the description. He puts one coat of medium on, and then he puts 3 coats of thin CA on, and after, in between each coat, he sprays activator, and he also puts some paste wax on the bushings, and that makes the blank not stick to the bushings, and that was super helpful. I was skeptical at first, but I was so glad that this worked out, so thank you for that tip. After I put the CA finish on, I forgot to film the micro meshing process, but I did micro mesh 1500 to 12,000 grit, and then after that I did put, as you can see here, I waxed on and waxed off with some Hut Ultra Gloss. After we put the Hut Ultra Gloss on, we press this seam ripper into a kit. I am pressing the clip end together. We line it up, we press it, and then we give it one more good press just to make sure that everything is where it needs to be. Here we are with the 2 seam rippers that I made for this video. One's cherry, one's maple. You screw in that little white piece into the seam ripper kit, and then you put the actual seam ripper portion into there. You have these rubber bands that go on the silver portion to grip in the tube, and then once you put that together, you are pretty much set to go. And here they are in their final states.
I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Here are the finished products. Here's the cherry one, if you guys can see that. And then here's a maple one. I have some other ones I'm trying to turn, but for the sake of the video, I'm just showing you those two. These were a lot of fun to turn. If you know any sewers in your life, these are great gifts for them. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss another video. Share my videos with other people, and we'll see you next time.